Welcome to the first EOP check-in, virtual check-in town hall. Thank you all for being here. Just really want to thank you and appreciate you all during these turbulent times for taking some time out of your busy schedule and time out of your day to be with us. And we have a lot of information for you all that we're looking forward to sharing with you. Your EOP career staff are all joining us as well, and you will be hearing from some of them as we make our way through this webinar. I want to let you all know that we are recording this so we can make it available. It will be posted to the website following our time together. I'd also suggest to you to utilize the gallery view function in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. That way you'll be able to see the presentation as well as all of the EOP staff in a gallery format along the side. If anyone is in need of closed captioning, you should be able to access it. It should be going on right now. Actually, I can see it popping on the bottom of my screen. But if not, then you just hit in the menu bar at the bottom of the Zoom window. There's a CC, a closed captioning link that should do it if it's not already showing up. There will be a time for a Q&A after all of this. After the Q&A, you will receive a link to a survey. And we ask that you please take a few moments just to fill that out in terms of like how the webinar went. And you also have an opportunity, if you would like to connect specifically with the counselor, to designate that desire at the end of the evaluation. We do have several kind of functional reminders in terms of utilizing Zoom. There is both a chat function and a Q&A function during the actual webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to populate the Q&A portion and we'll get to those towards the end. If there's any technical issues or things that kind of come up periodically or during the virtual webinar, feel free to use the chat function. Patty, our assistant director, will be monitoring the chat, and Brenda and Luther will be supporting us in monitoring the Q&A function. I will also ask for your patience. This is the first time we've done this. We are looking forward to doing this again, and we'll forecast that we're going to do this. We're going to have 2 more opportunities for this kind of engagement in this new environment, and which we'll get to later on. So we appreciate your patience. As we're kind of learning and figuring this out, as all of us are, in terms of this new reality that we're living in at the moment. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the presentation, and here we go. Okay, if I can get this thing to work. Oh, well, I guess I'll do it that way. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So oh boy. Oh, it's slow. See, this is what I mean. Your patience is greatly appreciated. Okay, so first, we're going to have a poll. We would like for those of you here to respond to this following polling question. So you should have a poll on your screen. And the question is, how would you rate your level of stress right now? Feel free to respond to the poll. Let me actually, how about this? Here we go. All right, thank you. Feel free to keep them coming. Okay, maybe we'll give it just a few more seconds. How would you rate your level of stress right now, at this very moment? Don't feel obligated to reply, but if you do, maybe we'll give you just a couple more seconds. All right, so these are our results. about 42%. 5 of us are in the middle. 5 of us are about 4, and a couple of us very high. So I think this is very indicative of and quite understandable. We want to just to validate your experience. We know this is a very stressful time. On top of it is already a very stressful kind of environment in terms of pursuing our higher education. So thank you all for sharing. And we'll come back to this again as well. Okay. So moving forward, so first thing we want to do is just a land acknowledgement. This is something that the Division of Student Affairs has taken on at the beginning of our meetings and events and programs. And so I would like to take this moment to acknowledge the Chumash people, who are the traditional custodians of this land. We would also like to pay respect to elders, both past and present, as well as other indigenous peoples present here and wherever we may currently find ourselves, recognizing that we may not necessarily be in the Santa Barbara area, but just also giving respect to indigenous peoples throughout the world and all peoples throughout the world, but now also in recognition of the land upon which we stand. Okay. Okay, so we have some community values. This is taken from the Principles of Community that can be found on the Division of Student Affairs website. Some things that we wanted to reaffirm as a department, as EOP, that we reaffirm the intrinsic dignity in each of us. We seek to cultivate understanding amongst the diverse parts of our whole. We believe in every individual's right to freedom of expression, including the ability to disagree with and or counter another's point of view, limited only by university regulations governing time, place, and manner. We hold one another accountable to the highest standards of civility, respect, and decency in all our interactions. We celebrate our differences and recognize and honor diversity as vital to the excellence of our university. We strive individually and collectively to make UC Santa Barbara an inclusive environment in which to live, work, and learn. And specifically wanted to give attention to this, particularly in light of the recent ongoing incidences of xenophobia directed towards our Asian and Asian American and API community. So we wanted to make sure to recognize that and include this as well in terms of our core values as a department and as a division and as a university. We do not tolerate acts of bigotry, harassment, and other harm to individuals by anyone in our community on the basis of race, color, ethnicity, sexual orientation, sex, gender, age, physical or mental ability, size, language, religious beliefs, political affiliation, gender identity, service in the uniformed services, citizenship, pregnancy, medical condition, genetic information, ancestry, marital status, or national origin, among other personal characteristics. We affirm that the responsibility for opposing such behavior lies with all members of the community wherever they encounter such behavior. And again, there is the link there, and you will have access to this presentation afterwards, but feel free, if you're interested, to check the link there for more about the principles of community in the university. Okay, some community guidelines, how this is gonna go. So all of your participant cameras and microphones are muted, so this is a webinar. And that's also to cut down on the possibility of any Zoom bombing, which there will be none in this piece. Please, as I mentioned before, utilize the chat function to communicate any immediate technical needs. And please also utilize the Q&A feature to ask questions, which, as I mentioned before, we'll get to towards the end of the presentation. And you'll have time to respond to that, and our counseling, your expert counseling staff will be available to respond to those. As always, keep it classy. That's who we are. Feel free to share this information with family and friends. And I'm not sure if there are any others, but if so, feel free to kind of add them in the chat function. Okay, and this is how it's going to go. This is our agenda. As you can see, there will be a couple more polling questions interspersed throughout the presentation. We're going to give you information about how to make appointments to meet with an EOP counselor, how to meet with academic advisors in the 3 colleges on campus. We're going to talk about some ways to cope and wellness strategies, which we hope will be validating in your individual and our collective experiences. We're going to talk about some financial resources, community resources, information and updates, summer courses, give you an update on some upcoming EOP programming, what you can expect from EOP this quarter. And then there'll be the time for the Q&A, final poll, and the link to the survey. All right, so now to tell us about how to meet with an EOP counselor, I'm going to turn it over to Luther Richmond. I'm going to ask Luther to introduce himself and take it away.
Hi, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Luther Richmond. I'm an EOP counselor coordinator. Pronouns are he, him, his. And yeah, I'll be talking about how to schedule an appointment with an EOP counselor. For this, I'll share my screen and I'll stop my video so y'all can pay attention to the different steps. All right. Okay, so there are a couple options. First of all, you can call our front desk. You may call our front desk. Our phone lines are going straight to voicemail. And
Luther, we're seeing your Zoom, not your desk, not your other one.
Oh yes, I'll go to the website in a sec.
Okay.
It's just not to that step yet. You can call our front desk. Our phone lines are going straight to voicemail, and you'll hear instructions to leave your name, perm, and phone number. The front desk staff is checking voicemails frequently, and they're returning calls within usually 30 minutes. The second step is to schedule online by yourself, and to do that, you can visit our EOP website. There's a website, eop.sa.ucsb.edu. When you go there, our website, our homepage now shows information about how to connect with EOP during the stay-at-home situation. Click on the link to schedule an appointment with a counselor right here. Alternatively, you may go to our About Us to the staff page, but this link here in the counseling section will link you to that page. All right. Under the photos of each EOP counselor, there are links that say schedule a virtual appointment with me. I'll use myself as an example. So you taking a step back, you'd want to select the counselor that you usually meet with or that you'd like to meet with, and click on the link. After you click on the link, there's it takes you into Shoreline. And if you're asked to sign in using your NetID and password, and on this calendar that shows up, select the day that you'd like to meet. I'll choose May 1st as an example, right? And this list of times are the times that the counselor that you selected is available for that day. So I'll just choose 1 p.m. Right, and this confirm booking window pops up. You'd want to fill this out. I'll do it really quickly. This should be pre-populated after you sign into Shoreline with your name and email. You want to choose your meeting type. You can do by phone if you select phone. Once you confirm, the counselor will be sent an email with your information, and they'll call you at the time that you set the meeting up for. You can also do Zoom for a video call. I'll use that as an example. So we want to do a Zoom meeting, perm number, 7-digit perm number, and your phone number. I got to do the generic fake number, 555-1212. And then we want to do junior class standing, and I'm saying yes to a transfer student. All right, and then please note, you can select more than one reason for the appointment. So for this appointment, I'm gonna do academic, financial, and personal. And you hit submit. Once you hit submit and you're finished booking, the booking confirm screen appears. So at this point, an invitation has been emailed to you at your @ucsb.edu account and or the account that's registered with Shoreline. You want to check your email as it'll contain the link to the counselor's Zoom meeting space or meeting room. And if you haven't downloaded Zoom, today would be a good time to do so. There's a desktop app as well as a mobile app for your phone. On the day of your appointment, click on the Zoom link in the confirmation email. That Zoom link will take you to your Zoom meeting with your counselor, and the counselor will take you out of the meeting room and start the session when they're ready. All right, if you have any trouble connecting, sorry, I'm gonna go back. If you have any trouble connecting, oh my gosh, sorry, Ashkan.
Do you
I
want me to
can't get
read?
it. I can't get it back to
Yeah.
mine.
You want to get back to yours? You want to get back to the presentation?
Just to my screen. I've stopped sharing. Go. All right. Yeah. Once you let me see. Oh yeah. Once you have booked the appointment, like I was mentioning a second ago, the counselor will pull you out of the meeting room, and you'll be able to start your meeting. If you have any trouble connecting, email the counselor directly, and they should be able to help you out with the connection issues. All right. And that's pretty much it. That's how you want to meet with us. Couple options to do it through the front desk and also yourself online.
All right. Thank you very much, Luther. Appreciate
All right.
that. And
Thank you.
I'll reiterate again that all this information will be available after the fact. And this webinar will be posted to our website. Okay, how to meet with an academic advisor. Brenda, please, would you introduce yourself and take it away?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brenda Curiel. My pronouns are she, her, hers, ella. And thank you for joining us today. How to meet with an academic advisor. As you can see, we have a list of the 3 colleges, and we'll start off, and then also advising via EOP, and we'll also go over that as well. To meet with the College of Letters and Science, they're continuing to meet with students via phone or Zoom. To schedule an appointment, call 805-893-2038. Or you can also email them at academic_advising@ltsc.ucsb.edu. We highly recommend also connecting with the College of Letters and Science via their Q list. As you can see, this is one of the easiest way to connect with them, and they've been receiving really great feedback from students, and we'll connect with students within, there isn't a long wait to connect with them through QList. So we highly recommend that. Also, if you need a petition form, most are available online, and once you fill it out, you can scan them or take a picture and send it to them. So this is really great. And under academic_advising@ltsc.ucsb.edu, you'll be able to receive more information, and you'll be able to see further information regarding petition forms. Continuing on to the College of Creative Studies, they're providing academic advising via email, Zoom, or Google Hangouts, and also via phone. To schedule an appointment, either contact Megan Peterson or Savannah Parison. They're both of the academic advisors within the College of Creative Studies. The dates are available, as you can see, in the time frames, and then also through the BIT.ly, and as far as like the links there, that's how you can connect with them to see their Google Calendar and schedule an appointment, which makes it really easy. And you may also email them. You may email Megan Peterson for general advising information at megan.peterson@ccs.ucsb.edu, or also email Savannah Parison for petitions and more complex matters at savannah.parison@ccs.ucsb.edu. The College of Engineering is also continuing to meet with students via Zoom. And for further support, please contact them at coe.info@engineering.ucsb.edu, or set up a virtual meeting. And if you go onto their engineering website that's listed there, engineering.ucsb.edu/undergraduate, you can see the list of undergraduate advisors, especially with regards to your major and focus, and you can connect with them to schedule a Zoom meeting. Also, their phone number is available if you have any questions and would like to call them at 805-893-2809. We are providing and continuing with our advising via EOP. The College of Letters and Science are available to meet with students via phone. And they will be available throughout the spring quarter on Tuesdays from 1 to 4 and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12. Career Services, Counselor Joanne Villanueva Salvador is also available to meet virtually with EOP students on Mondays from 3 to 4 p.m. To schedule an appointment, please call us at 805-893-4758 or you may email us at eop@sa.ucsb.edu. Also, Joanne will be using Shoreline, similar to what EOP counselors are using right now to schedule appointments with students. And this is really great. We'll be sharing more information as far as the link to schedule appointments with Joanne in the near future. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Brenda. We're going to move on now to Kristen, who's going to introduce herself and talk about ways to cope and wellness strategies.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kristen Minami. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm one of the newer counselors here in EOP. So thank you all again for sharing and participating in our first poll question. I hope folks are taking extra care during this time and really enacting some of our healing practices. So just wanted to cover a couple of resources for folks. So student health is still open and available to see folks. One thing that they did want to mention is that if you or you know of others, or for folks who are feeling symptoms of COVID-19, they're asking folks to call this number 805-893-7129 prior to going into seeking physical services. So something to keep in mind. And they are also available virtually. As you can see, they have virtual telehealth appointments as well. If folks are not on campus, they are, and folks receive prescriptions, they are able to send it to your current residence or wherever you're located at the moment. So something to keep in mind is that they're open and available to seeing folks. Similarly with CAPS, CAPS is still open and available through Zoom or phone appointments. So whether folks have an existing appointment, they are still seeing students, and they are also taking new appointments too. So we have the phone number here, 805-893-4411, and folks can go ahead and call the office to make an appointment. Something also to keep in mind is that their after-hours crisis services are available as well, so available after business hours. If folks are experiencing, if folks want to speak to somebody right away, folks can go ahead and call that number and select the option number 2, and you should be able to speak to somebody right away. Another thing that we wanted to touch base on real quick is the student wellbeing website. So I'll go ahead and share my screen real quick, so that way folks can get a sense of what it looks like. So here we have the student wellbeing website, and this is really a one-stop shop for all of our wellness related needs. And so you see here we have basic needs, CAPS, care, health and wellness, and student health. And all of these departments are trying to update this website on a pretty frequent basis. So we highly recommend visiting this website if folks are needing some more up-to-date information and need kind of like, again, having all of that information in one location. So just wanted to show you all briefly what that looks like. And as you can see here, it's really organized in a way where you can, depending on whatever office you want to visit, you can go ahead and click the link. I'll just visit Student Health and Wellness. And it takes you right to their page with all of the information that you might need. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing. Oops. And so if we can go back to our slide, yeah, perfect. So again, if you all have any other questions or have any other comments regarding coping and wellness strategies, feel free to ask the Q and put a question in the Q&A. One other thing that we wanted to mention with regards to resilience is these are really unprecedented times, as you all have probably heard before. We specifically wanted to mention that your feelings and your struggles are valid and real, and that specifically for a lot of us who have relocated back to our homes, we may be playing different roles of being caregiver, babysitter, teacher, and so we really encourage folks to be gentle with yourselves and tending to your needs as you need to. So being able to support our loved ones in our community when we can. We'll be reiterating throughout this presentation, but we see you, and EOP is here for and with you all. But I'll go ahead and turn it over to my colleagues to share other resources.
Okay, thank you very much, Kristen. I believe we have a second polling question now, so let me see if I can launch this. Here we go. All right. So here we have another polling question. Of these 7 items, please rate the 3 things, the 3 highest needs. So feel free to go right ahead and respond. Of these 7 items, food, housing, physical health, family, employment, mental health, and finances, please rate the 3 highest needs. Thank you. We'll probably give it like maybe about 20 more seconds. Of these 7 items, please rate the 3 highest needs, your 3 highest needs personally. And just know these polls are anonymous, so we have no idea. We can't, connect it to any of you all. Okay, just a few more seconds. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share these results with you. As you can see, food and mental health are the top for those who responded, then followed up by finances, family, housing and employment, and our physical health. So this is very good to know. Again, I think just to reiterate what Kristen has said, just to validate our experience. There are a lot of resources that are available. And one of the goals of this time together during this webinar is to make sure that all of you are aware of it and that you know that you can share this information as well. We know that there's a lot of information that's being funneled your way, but know that with EOP that we have, we're here for you, and we have access to resources and information that may be helpful, kind of getting through this troubling time. Okay. Next, we have financial resources, and I believe Brenda is going to take us through that.
Hi, everyone. Brenda and I will be sharing more on our financial resources currently. My name is Jennifer Leon. I pronounce she, her, hers, ella, and I am also one of the newer counselors on board.
Hi, thank you, Erin, and thank you, Jennifer. My name, as I've mentioned, Brenda Curiel, she, her, hers, ella. And I'll be starting this off with regarding to sharing a little bit more about student needs and the Advising Center, and also the technology and access support that is being provided. And then Jennifer will provide the additional information as far as financial crisis and resources on campus. As you all have mentioned, right, I think that the top third one as far as what is impacting you right now is something that thank you for sharing, and it's definitely something that we want to continue to provide additional support and information. It takes us into this slide with financial resources, and I think we're just gonna jump right back to that one. I'll start off by saying that we understand that this is a very challenging time, and that food and basic needs are really important. And we wanted to share that the Student Needs Advising Center, as you all might have seen via email that has been shared out, it's also known as the Food Security and Basic Needs Center, also known as SNAC, is open, and it's available to students. And their hours of operation are Mondays, 11:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday, they're open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Fridays, they're open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We highly recommend to definitely continue. If you are, we understand if you, are living in IV or are staying off campus, living in one of the UCSB housing, they are open. There is support. Also, they do have a chat function where advocates, food security advocates, are available to connect with students remotely. We highly recommend to check out the chat. Thank you. So it looks like it's being posted right here. You'll be able to see through the food.ucsb.edu site. You can connect with an advocate, and they'll be able to provide more support and insight virtually, and also to connect you to some of those really critical resources, as you all have mentioned, with food and basic needs. Recently, also, there was a pop-up event that the Basic Needs Advising Center hosted, and there was a lot of students that were able to receive some of fresh food there. Hopefully, they'll have another event at the food.ucsb.edu site. You'll be able to receive more information. And especially if in the future they do hold another pop-up event where students can stop by. I believe that Rebecca Plotkin mentioned that there was about 1,000 students that I think stopped by. So there's a lot of students that stopped by to their pop-up event, which shows that there is a big need, right? We also wanted to share that there's also technology and access for students, especially if you've gone back home, if you're in IV, and let's say, for example, you may not have, or your laptop isn't working, or you may not have a device, right, to log on to Zoom virtually to get connected with all of your professors. The Chromebooks that were available for students to rent through the Students Needs Advising Center are actually now free. That is an update from the Financial Crisis Response Team and the Advising Center, so we just wanted to make sure to share it here with you all as well, that the Chromebooks are available and they're free for any students that previously checked them out, or if actually they still do have some, so definitely stop by to the Food Security and Basic Needs Advising Center, and they still did have some laptops available for students to receive them, and you're able to keep them. So that was really great news. Also, there's free internet access, and we wanted to share that information here. And as you can see, there's the link for housing.ucsb.edu, options students that are at home. So we highly recommend getting connected there. Also, definitely stopping by if you're on campus. If you are back home, definitely connecting, and Jennifer will go into a little bit more of the resources to connect with some of the Financial Crisis Response Team virtually.
Thank you, Brenda. So the Financial Crisis Response Team is open and is still staying in the 24 to 48-hour response window. Just a quick refresher, they can help with any financial challenges that may arise for students through grants, vouchers, scholarships, case management, and other forms of aid. They also have emergency food grants available. The quickest way, and the only way to really contact them, is to email the financial crisis at sa.ucsb.edu. It's really important that you incorporate what the current crisis is, providing a PERM number and your name. That way they can work efficiently in trying to help you best. Another update that I do have from the Financial Crisis Response Team is that they will no longer be checking or asking students to accept their full subsidized loan offered. The only other requirement that something that they will be checking is for a financial aid application. So if the student does not have a financial aid application, the Financial Crisis Response Team will ask the students to submit a financial application prior to providing funding. As far as the financial resources, the Office of Financial Aid is still open. They can connect with students via phone or via email. You can still go into the financial aid website and sign up on queue lists. And they'll call the students right back, and they think they're providing really good response rate. They're still there to connect you and to receive support, provide support to the students. They also offer or issue short-term emergency loans depending on the student's individual circumstances. Typically for a short-term loan, it's for any accepted aid that hasn't dispersed, but the student needs it, a lot sooner. Right now, since their office is closed and so is the BARC building office, they are providing them via direct deposit. So currently, it may not be a great option to do a short-term loan because the time for a loan or anything to be issued to you would be the same as a direct deposit from just regular financial aid disbursements. But again, if you are thinking of a short-term loan, we encourage you to contact the financial aid office just to kind of inquire about it. Another update is if the EFC appeals are still available. If your situation has changed as far as your income within your household, and if it's COVID-19 related, you can access the EFC appeal on the financial website. You can access it via fin.ucsb.edu. The EFC appeal is basically providing financial aid and a look into your current household income, and can possibly adjust your EFC, therefore providing you with additional financial aid. Another update from the Undocumented Student Services, or USS, there's new funding for DACA renewal fees. In order for you to access those funds, you would have to schedule an appointment with USS to meet with the attorney that is assigned to UCSB. You can access it through the you can email the UCSB sorry, I can't say that, UCSB Undocumented Student Services at sa.ucsb.edu, or contact Diana Valdivia, or visit their website. But these funds are first come, first serve. So I do encourage, if you are in need of a DACA renewal grant, contact them as soon as you can. And I can turn over the ASCO for any ASCOP grant updates to Aaron.
Yes, I will. And as soon as I figure out what I've just done, which is, I think I need to go in. Hold on, bear with me for just a moment as I turn off the music. Okay, there we go. All right. Go back over here. Okay, thank you for your patience, folks. We did want to announce also that just as of Wednesday evening, the Associated Students Senate voted to allocate additional funding for the ASEOP grant. So we will be working with them as expeditiously as possible to get the grant process up and running again. We do not have a specific timeline right now, but we will be letting folks know, and you will be made aware that that additional resource will be returning for the duration of the academic quarter. And as I understand it, although I haven't seen the language, they have included additional language for emergencies or incidences as it relates to students responding to the COVID-19 pandemic right now. So just a heads up, just know that that's coming. And we're very happy for that, and very thankful to the AS Senate for the additional resources for all of you. Okay, now for community resources, information, and updates. I believe we have Jessica.
Yeah, hi y'all. This is Jessica Paredes Ulloa, EOP counselor. I wanted to share with you a few things just about some needs that you may be having in your community, or if you've stayed in Ivy. In regards to rents and leases, subleases, or utility payments, there has been many changes around moratoriums and utility not getting shut off. So check with your county, check with your community to see if that moratorium applies to you. If you're in Santa Barbara County or stayed in IV, that's going to be Ordinance 44-5, which is basically temporary, prohibiting any termination of tenancy and eviction for non-payment of rent related to COVID-19. Of course, we want you to get the best advice as possible, so please turn to your AS Legal Services, and you can meet with them via Zoom or phone, and they have an appointment set up system on legal.as.ucsb.edu, or the Isla Vista Tenants Union, which you can also book meetings with at ivtu.as.ucsb.edu. Again, I want you all to get the best advice possible and make sure you're checking in and asking questions about those things. As far as food security, y'all have also already heard about the snack, which is located in the youth end next to Jamba Juice. The advocates are available through their chat system on their website at food.ucsb.edu. They can provide you with help with finding food resources in your community, getting CalFresh set up or renewed. And also want y'all to know that the AS Food Bank is still functioning. They're functioning by providing brown bags that folks can pick up Wednesday and Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the Miramar Food Pantry is also open from Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But they are asking y'all to wear masks and practice social distancing when going into pickup supplies. For Dream Scholars and undocumented students, Diana Valdivia is still available and can be, you all can make an appointment through the Dream Scholars website through sa.ucsb.edu/Dream I highly suggest looking at immigrantsrising.org, as they've released a really comprehensive list of tangible resources nationwide for undocumented folks. And if you're in Santa Barbara and Ventura County and have maybe you've lost hours or you've lost work, definitely look up 805undocufund.org, as that has been activated for this in response to the pandemic. And of course, I want y'all to go ahead and reach out to the counselors, talk to them about what resources you might have found in your community, what resources you need, and we can definitely help to troubleshoot and to connect y'all to some really valuable resources in your community. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Jessica, appreciate it. Now we're going to moving on to information about taking summer courses. I'm going to pass it along to Zia. Would you introduce yourself and take it away?
Hi everyone, I'm Xiomara. My pronouns are she, her, hers. So I'll be talking a little bit about summer with my colleague Angie. So for those of you interested in summer courses, so course registration is now open on Gold. So log on there and check your registration status, your registration appointment, to see if you are able to now register. As of now, there has been no announcement about it being changed to virtual, but we do expect on-knowing soon. In regards to financial aid, starting April 15th, you'll be able to access a financial aid estimator on My Aid Status. And as a reminder, you do have to take 6 or more units in order to receive financial aid. So that's 6 units combined in one summer session or any of the following. So in total, it has to be 6. There is a summer housing incentive that's being offered by Summer Sessions. So that can be up to $1,000 for students living in university apartments. There is an application located on Summer Sessions website, and there are some requirements like being financial aid eligible, being a California resident, and taking at least 12 units. And so if you're interested in that incentive, you can apply through the Summer Sessions website. On their website, you can also check the calendars to make sure that you will be able to attend summer sessions. Accordingly, there are a couple of sessions and each one can vary in length. As a reminder, summer sessions is usually a good time to take those classes that are usually harder to get into during the year. But please consider your unit load. It is, most sessions like summer session A and B are shorter in length, 5 weeks. And so we encourage you to speak to us and consider the unit load so that we can ensure your wellness. And now I'll pass it on to Angie, who's going to talk a little bit about summer at community college or another UC and CSU.
Hi everyone, my name is Angie Gaudilla, pronouns she, her, hers, ella. And I'm going to be talking a little bit more about those of you who may be interested in taking summer courses, not at UCSB, maybe at a community college or maybe a different UC or a CSU. So summer at a community college, we have this awesome tool called assist.org. So you can take any lower division course, meaning anything that is 1 to 99 course numbers. And those can be GEs most of the time. A lot of students will take GEs at a community college during the summers. And some majors will allow you to take some of their pre-major courses as well. It's important for you to check in with your department to see if they have any restrictions of any of the courses. Some courses are only offered at UCSB that are under the pre-majors for some of the majors. So you can go to assist.org. It's an awesome tool. We are more than welcome. I mean, we are more than happy to help you out if you have any questions. I've been going through this week with some of our students where we go through assist.org together to kind of explain and understand what are some of the courses they can take. This website tells you what classes you would be transferable, but you do have to check out your community college, whichever it is. A lot of them are doing remote actually, because they do start their summer sessions in usually mid-May. So you have to also take into account that some courses are starting a little bit earlier than before you finish the spring quarter, because they are semester units. So saying that, it's important for you to make sure you make a correction to your FAFSA or your California DREAM Act to include the community college that you're thinking about going. I always say to do it for this current year, because depending on the community college, they will use the FAFSA or the California DREAM Act for this year. Some community colleges will use it for the following year, so next year, which would be 2020 to 2021. Make sure that after you're done with your course that you send your transcript to UCSB in order to get those credits. If you are taking semester units, they do transfer over for quarter units. Usually you would multiply by 1.5, meaning if you take a 3-unit course, it would come in as a 4.5 unit course. But if you have any more additional questions about that, please give us a call or email us or make an appointment with one of us so we can go over that. Just something to keep in mind, credit is given for community colleges, but your GPA doesn't transfer over. So that's something that we want to make sure students know. To take summer at another UC or a CSU, you can take GEs, but one difference between a community college and a UC or CSU is that you can actually take upper divisions at a UC and a CSU. Which is good for those who may only need upper division courses at this point. You could take those upper divisions. You just need to make sure that if they're going to count for your major, that they've been pre-approved, or you have those conversations with your major department. You would apply through their specific their UC summer website. So if it's at UCLA extension courses, I think it is. So each campus is going to have a different website, a different summer session website. If you are going to be going to another UC, you would have to do the UC cross-campus summer application in order to receive the financial aid from UCSB to be going to a different campus. And connect with your financial aid advisors if you have more questions on that. And then again, make sure that you make a correction on your FAFSA to include the CSU that you're going to go to if you are going to be going to a local CSU. Thank you all, and we're going to go ahead and move on. I don't know if there's any questions.
Thank you, Angie, and thank you, Zio. Yeah, we'll just as a quick reminder, we will have space for Q&A at the end, so feel free to utilize the Q&A tab in the menu bar for look at it. Utilize the Q&A tab to pose questions. We'll get to them in just a few more moments, so we have a couple more slides. Next, we have upcoming programming and events. I believe Ozzy is going to introduce himself and take it away.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm Ozzy Espinosa, counselor and pre-enrollment services coordinator for EOP. As you can see, up until this point, we've been reviewing and making sure that you understand of all the resources that you still have available, even despite the current situation that we find ourselves in. But we just wanted you to know that these important services and opportunities for you to continue to engage in a meaningful way, to continue to have the support of your community, both academically and also your student community, and that support is so important to your continued well-being overall. So here's a quick snapshot, really, because this is only a few of the things that you can look forward to that will continue. We're going to continue with our EOP fireside chats, as has been the case in past quarters. And that's going to be coordinated with some of our counselors, Angie Caudillo, and some of the folks from ONDAS and the Transfer Center. I mean, there's a lot of people involved in these sorts of activities. So please check online on our website to make sure that you're up to date on the different opportunities for you to continue to engage. Next to that, we've noted there that it's only one of the many things that are available to you moving forward. Is like Nuestra Comunidad is a perfect example of some of the group workshops that EOP is able to offer in collaboration with CAFS, the Counseling Center. This is just an example of that, but please check the website at CAFS, as you will see that there are many other group opportunities for you to continue to engage. And again, they cover many topics. And these are, again, resources to continue to help you in your mental health and support you and validate your experience as a student at UCSB, especially during these stressful times. Also, we are going to continue our coffee and community. Again, that's going to be with Angie Galdillo, one of our EOP counselors in Malapan, Formosa, over at the Onda Center. So please look for those opportunities, again, for you to continue to engage in meaningful ways with your UCSB community. And last but not least, of course, we have the online on time and discussing the effective practices for virtual courses, including setting the right environment, time management, how to take a break and do self-care. I mean, these kinds of topics are essential. And again, if you haven't realized it, EOP, along with student affairs and the rest of the campus, are really interested in making sure that we are continuing to support you in meaningful ways and continue to validate your experience as a student, that we're all going through this together, and we're going to make this thing, we're going to get through this thing in a very real way, in a very healthy way. Thank you very much. I forgot to mention my pronouns are he, him, his, and AOS. Thank you so much, folks.
All right, thank you very much, Ozzy. Really appreciate that. We're going to go on to our third polling question, and I'm going to pop that up right now. This is with regards to technology. So here we go. Please rate your ability to access technology necessary to be academically successful. So feel free. Again, these polls are anonymous, and we appreciate you taking the time to giving us feedback. Right on. We'll do maybe like 15 more seconds or so. Please rate your ability to access the technology necessary to be academically successful. Okay, just a few more seconds. Excuse me. All righty. Thank you. There's one submitted right there. Got to say, it's kind of cool watching this kind of populate. All right, here we go. So our results, there it is. So most of us are doing all right, but for that individual who needs some support, or for those of you who need some support, please do reach out to us. We talked about some resources that are available through this webinar, but please make an appointment or connect with one of the EOP counselors immediately, so we can make sure that you have what you need to be academically successful, okay? All right, thank you for sharing your experience. All right, I'm gonna close this. And now I believe Jessica and Ozzy are going to talk to us about what you can expect from EOP come spring.
Yeah, so Jessica here again, pronouns she, her, hers, ella. I want y'all to know that no matter what, we're not going anywhere. We're still available. As y'all can see, it's pretty quick and easy to schedule an appointment with a counselor. So please continue to do so. We are, please keep your eyes out and open for looking for that ASEOP grant reinitialization. We'll be getting that date out to y'all soon, and what the process will be like. So please let us know if you need some support with that. As Ozzy mentioned, we've got some great events coming up. you know, all virtual, but all great ways for y'all to get some community and access us and get us, maybe, you know, maybe share some of your own ways that you're coping with this, and or hear how some folks are dealing with it also. Please look out for our upcoming town halls, week 6 and week 10, and there will be raffles involved with those, so please look out for that. We will be sending less EOP directed emails. So we'll be including our information in the student affairs email announcement. So please look out for that also. And of course, if you need updates, check the website. We'll be doing our best to try to keep that as updated as possible. And then also social media. So again, check that social media, share events with friends, share events with students you might know that might have some needs. And also let us know if you have any ideas for maybe some resources that are needed or a program that might be needed. Please let us know. Ozzy, I'll let you talk a little bit more about, you know, upcoming maybe graduation events or other resources.
Okay, folks, thank you, Jessica. Again, this is Ozzy, he, him, his, Eos. It's good to be connecting with you folks, and we really mean that our intention here is to bring some normalcy to the situation, to keep us connected and to keep us feeling validated, moving forward. Yes, we will be having graduation celebrations. We're just all adapting to this thing through technology. But we have realized so far that we are still maintaining some very solid connections with our student population and still able to cover some very meaningful topics. And your needs are our number one priority at this point. And we are going to continue to make sure that we provide the kind of programming and support that you all are used to. The only thing that's changed is the means by which we are doing that. But other than that, we are still committed. As stated up here in the caption, no matter what, we're not going anywhere, folks. We're in this with you, and thank you for hanging in there with us. And we look forward to continue to interact with you.
All right, thank you very much, Jessica and Ozzy. Appreciate it. So now we're at towards the end of our presentation and the Q&A function. If you have any questions, please feel free. For Brenda and Luther, I think I've been checking our Q&A. I don't know if you want to just utilize this time and space to perhaps articulate any questions that came up. No questions in the Q&A chat to share about thus far. Great, thank you. If you have any questions, now is a great time to utilize the Q&A function, or if you want to put something in the chat, that's fine too. So let us know. We'll allow a few minutes for that. But again, I just want to reiterate what has been said while we are allowing you some time to maybe articulate some questions. All of us, not just here in EOP or on campus or in the Santa Barbara community or this country, but all of us throughout the world are really experiencing high levels of uncertainty and anxiety right now. And I think this is really kind of demonstrating what is the metal of our moral fiber. And EOP stands firmly committed to your success and your support. And as we have for decades, and we will continue to do so for decades. So please take care of one another and take care of yourselves, and know that EOP is here, the Division of Student Affairs is here, the university is here. We're here for you, and you don't have to be alone in this, even in this period of social isolation, or as Kristen reminded me through other colleagues, of respectful radius that we engage in with one another. Okay, oh, we do have a question here. Could you go back to the first 3 slides of the presentation? Taking pictures. Yeah, I can. Easy breezy, brother. Hold on real quick. Let me figure out how to do it though. Let's see. No, let's see. Okay. I'm not sure. Are you talking about this one? So let me know. Let's see here. If you're taking screenshots, I'm assuming so. There's that one. Oops. And there's the how to meet with an academic advisor. And again, this all will be available. We posted on our website, so have no fear. And then wellness and coping strategies. I mean, sorry, ways to cope and wellness strategies. Again, this is being recorded, so you'll have access to all of this. Any other questions? Oh, there's something on the chat. Okay, we got that. Got it. You're welcome. You're welcome, Miguel.
There is
okay.
a question that maybe we can speak about here. It just came up on the chat by one of our attendees. Do students need to go onto campus to still to sign the grant paperwork in person?
Are we referring to the ASEOP grant?
I think so.
Yes. So we will reinitiate it, and part of what we need to do is formalize and finalize our process of making it an online platform. We've been wanting to do this for quite some time, but we haven't had the opportunity to do so. You know, oftentimes in this environment, we're talking about what's the silver lining in the midst of all this, you know, that's this anxiety and fear that's going around. So actually, our business officer Jose Rigosa is leading us in kind of making a transition so that we can utilize the some of the campus resources, specifically one resource called DocuSign, that will allow us to transition the ASOP grant application process to a virtual process. So when we do reinitialize it, it'll be all virtual. But you will still need to meet with an EOP counselor, and the EOP counselor will guide you through the initial steps to get the information. You'll be able to submit documentation utilizing this new format, this new protocol, the supportive documentation as you always would, in terms of the class schedule, financial aid verification, any sort of receipts. It'll all be built into this program and process for you to be able to upload, and then we'll be able to process it electronically. Thanks for the question. Any other questions? Thanks, Genesis. Genesis said, y'all look great. We all hope you're all well. Thank you, Genesis, one of our partners in the Education Abroad program. Any other questions? For whatever reason, as I'm doing this, I can see the chat, but I can't see the questions. So feel free, Brenda, Luther, any other questions?
Yeah, we have another question from a student, from someone. Will this recording be sent to all EOP students?
If you would like, but I'm also very conscious, as we mentioned, we're very conscious that you're all getting a lot of information. So maybe what we'll do is, we'll talk about it, but maybe what we'll do, we're definitely going to post it to our website so it'll be accessed. And maybe what we'll do is in the next communication that goes out, we'll include reference and a link back to this presentation. How does that sound? Just mindful of not wanting to we're very mindful of not wanting to bombard all of you with more and more emails in this when there's so much information that's coming out there. Any other questions?
Sounds good, thank you.
Right on, you got it. Okay, any other questions? All right, so feel free, you know how to find us. As Luther demonstrated, feel free to reach out to us. We have one final polling question, and I'm going to launch that right now. And very simply, how would you rate your levels of stress right now that we've had some time together? Thank you. Keep them coming. Right on. We'll give it a few more seconds. How would you rate your level of stress right now? Remember, this poll is anonymous. All righty. We'll end the poll here and share the results. And there we are. So I'm happy to say that for the bulk of us, we're feeling, generally speaking, a little better than we did at the beginning. And that's part of the hope. We hope that by not only sharing this information with you, but also demonstrating so you could see our faces and just reiterating that we're here with you. We may be in isolation. We may not have the physical contact that we are accustomed to. And as a matter of fact, something that Charlene O'Brien, who's the Director of Health and Wellness, had mentioned to me in a conversation just the other day, that, you know, some of us who may be introverts, maybe this time of social isolation is not so bad. But some of us who may be more extroverted, who really get our energy and our feedback and our, you know, our vibrancy from social interaction, this may be very challenging. So we just want to acknowledge that you know, for all of us, we have tools and technology available like Zoom, like FaceTime, you know, that we could utilize, and we should really kind of be very conscientious about really utilizing it to the best of our abilities. And nothing beats that hug, you know, nothing beats that you know, ability to be able to kind of go to your neighbors and, you know, have a cup of coffee together, or, you know, that other kind of more intimate physical social interaction. But this is what we have. And if this were 10 years ago, we wouldn't even have this. So, but we have it, and this is where we are. Let's utilize it to the best of our ability, and do not in any way, shape, or form feel like you have to engage in any of this alone or by yourself. Reach out, call, text, send out a signal flare, do what you got to do, but just know that you're not alone, and know that we're here for you. Okay. As I mentioned, you will receive at the end of this webinar a URL link to a survey. Please take a few moments. It's just maybe like 5 or 6 questions to fill it out. That'll help inform us about how this went. We appreciate your feedback. And as I mentioned before, we will have there will be another town hall, virtual town hall week 6 of the spring quarter, and then we'll do another one also week 10. Just as we begin to wrap up, just want to make sure you know who we are. Here are all of our wonderful, beautiful student staff, our peer mentors, and our office assistants. Of course, you can see this image on the website. I thought we put it up here as well. Look at all those beautiful smiling faces, right? And your career staff. And we are here for you. We're here to support you. You know how to find us. And don't hesitate. I will say personally, anecdotally, one of the things, and some of you already know this, one of the things that I, as an undergraduate student at UCSB, as a gaucho in the early 90s, prior to quite literally dropping out with a 1.8 GPA, one of the things that I didn't do was ask for help. So we want to remind you, please, just know that you're not alone, and don't hesitate to reach out to us. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you all for joining us. Stay safe out there. Do take care of yourselves and one another. Just remember that we're still here. We're not going anywhere. We will persevere, and know that you are loved. All right. And that's it. And I will take an opportunity to say thank you all for joining us. On behalf of the career and student staff at EOP, as your director of the Educational Opportunity Program, Aaron Jones, he, him, his, thank you for joining us, and we will see you again soon. All right. Peace, y'all.